Hello, stampers and crafters. Welcome to my YouTube Live, my free card class. We're going to be using the Painterly Pears Suite. Try to say that 5 times fast. If you're watching live, say hello. I love hearing from you. If you're watching the replay, also leave a comment, say hello. I'm going to first start out by showing you the suite. Now, this is an online exclusive suite, so it's not in the catalog, but this suite, I love it so much. So you get the Perfectly Pears bundle, which is a photopolymer stamp set with 14 stamps, and the Perfectly Pears dies, which coordinate with some of these. Like you have these pears, they cut out the pears there, and you also have some other, like these, we're using this one tonight to, or maybe not tonight, maybe it's on a different card I did. I've been playing with this suite for like 4 days straight now, and I've made so many things. So I'm honestly like a little, I can't remember what all I've made with it. But that was the bundle. You also get this beautiful paper, which, like I said, I've cut into it already. There are 6 sheets of double-sided, or 6 sheets, 6 different double-sided designs. So there's 12 designs total. I've used one up so much that I don't even have it anymore. You can see all of these in my online store. So I'm just flipping through. This is what I have left. So I only have 5 of the designs, or 5 of the sheets, because one of them we're actually using for the card. I cut up to make a bunch of pears. But this is the paper. It's absolutely gorgeous. I cut my paper down to 6x6. It's just easier for me to work with. I like it better that way. And then it also includes this beautiful ribbon. This is called the Mossy Meadow and Gold Trim. One side is like super, super gold, and the other side has the Mossy Meadow with a little bit of gold in there. Beautiful. And then the low profile sparkle dots, which have that Darling Duckling, Mossy Meadow, and Secret Sea. So we're going to be using pretty much everything from the suite tonight. Everything you see, I'm going to be making, you will get a card kit when you place a $35 order in my online store between today and July 21st. So I'm going to show you card number 1. This is card number 1 here. You won't get the things included in the suite. So the stamps, the dies, those things you won't get, the designer series paper, but you'll get the card base, you'll get the layers. So like for card number 1, this is what you would get. Because all this you can do with the suite, you would get this. And also a gold foil piece to die cut your little embellishment here. So let's make card number 1. I didn't get my scrap paper out to die cut for this pair we're doing here. We're going to use the stamps here. So we're going to need our outline, and we're going to need the fill-in part. So here's our outline and the fill-in. We're also going to need our stem, both the outline and the fill-in part. You'll also, when you get the kit, get a PDF of all the cards I'm showing tonight. All the measurements will be on there, all the supplies I used. I gotta cut down this scrap really quick. So here's my scrap paper. Move some of this out of my way. I swear I need like a second desk just off to the side. I'm gonna move our sample out of the way for just a moment and get our stamps onto some blocks. So I have a D block here. That's for our centerpiece and for our outline. I have Old Olive and Mossy Meadow. I'm only going to be using 3 inks, I think, for all 3 cards. So I have Old Olive, Mossy Meadow, and Secret Sea. For card number 1, we just need Old Olive and Mossy Meadow. I'm going to start with Mossy Meadow because the darker color is going to be our outline. And my Mossy Meadow is looking a little bit rough. I think I just need a new one. I've had this one for quite some time. So I'm just inking up that outline. And then I'm also going to ink up the outline of the leaf here. It's too small. Let's use a C block. And all these blocks are also available in my online store. I love Stampin' Up's blocks. ink that there. Now what you could also do if you only had one of these colors, you could ink this up and then ink the inside up and stamp off onto some scrap paper. I'm going to use Old Olive just because I like it. And it's going to make it a little bit darker. I feel like our sample card is a little too light, so it's going to be a little bit darker. So I just inked up the inside. I'm going to line it up as a photopolymer stamp, so it's really easy to see through. It's a little crooked, but it's a handmade card, so I'm okay with that. I'm going to put this on the back of our C block. Try to line that up the best I can. It's easier when I put my head right there and get down in there. I'm going to clean off these stamps really quick. I have my Stampin' Scrub. You could also use a simple chamois. I'm almost out of Stampin' Mist. A Simply Chamois to clean your stamps. I like this way. It's just quick and easy. And now my stamps are ready to go or ready to get put away. We're going to do a little bit of die cutting. I already die cut the foil piece, but that is from the stamps that, oh, I didn't do our sentiment either. I need to get that out. There are several sentiments in here. I made this a thank you card, but you know what? I think I might want a congratulations card this time. So I grabbed that sentiment and grabbed our stamps and put them away because I don't want to lose a stamp. Now I'll take a little Mossy Meadow again, and then this is our piece for our card. Again, all the measurements are on the free PDF you get with a $35 order in my online store. That link is in the description of this video. So I'm just going to ink that up, and right in that top right hand corner, clean this stamp off really quick. And I forgot to check my sound. I want to make sure I have sound. Oh, I hear it. Okay. Just checking, because that's happened to me before where I'm doing a live or a video and there's no sound. So I want to make sure that that is working. So now I'm going to grab the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Grab my large one here. And I have my number 1 platform down, my number 2 like shim or plate, put right on what I need to die cut. And I'm just going to put that there, and I need my dies. So again, these cut out the shapes, or you can cut out different little embellishments. That's what I used for the gold foil piece. And you can use a piece of washi tape or a post-it note to hold down your dies. I'm going to use washi tape because that's just what I have. So, again, this is a lot easier when I'm not on a live. When it's over at my little desk, it's easier. Grab that, line it up, a little tape, and then take our cutting plate right over top, and I'm going to run it through this way. Move my machine, and our pieces should be all cut out. Okay. Peel that off. And again, it's a little crooked, but you know what? It is a handmade card. Pop those out. Save that for another project. And now we have all our pieces here. And for this one, I think I just put, yeah, I did. I just put the inside in. You'll also get that in your kit. So I'll grab my liquid glue. You can use Stampin' Seal, whatever adhesive you prefer. The liquid glue is handy. I just have it sitting here, so I'm going to put some on that. And then we're going to put down our layers. So this is a piece of that beautiful designer series paper. This is actually the piece I didn't have because I've used it all, because this coordinates perfectly with the dies. So you can cut out the pears, you can cut out the tops. There's a die for those pears, and there's even a die for the flowers, which I will show you on card number 2. But that's what I use this whole sheet for. So the whole sheet is gone. We're going to put this down on our card base. With the liquid glue, I find a little bit goes a long way. I'm just going to line that up as best I can, just eyeball it. So I like the little liquid glue as well, because you can move that around a little bit. I'm going to get my bone folder and just burnish that edge. That'll keep my card base closed. It just makes it easier to work with. And then I'm going to add some liquid glue to the back of our basic white here and line that up. This corner is trying to stick up a little bit, so we need a little glue, just a little bit. And then this piece goes along the bottom. Add a little liquid glue for that. I really prefer liquid glue for this step only because you're trying to be a little bit precise. And if you're over a little bit, like I am, you have a minute to move it. So then before we stick this down, you want to put this gold piece down. What I did was just dot, the tiniest bits of liquid glue. You also could use an adhesive sheet on your gold foil before you run it through your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. But the liquid glue I feel like works just fine. And for this piece, I feel like there's no right or wrong way, just however it goes on. And now for the rest, we're going to be using Stampin' Dimensionals and a little piece of the ribbon here. So I will admit I am not super awesome when it comes to ribbon. So I can tie a bow and I can wrap it around a card. And that's about it. But I found kind of a new way to use it, and I've been really liking it. So I'm just going to stick a glue dot down. You could also use tear and tape, some kind of like small adhesive like that. And what I did for this was I just kind of made it a little loop like that. And you can cross it, you can get fancy with it if you want. But I just kind of stuck it to that. And then I take my scissors and just kind of cut at an angle to get those little frayed bits off. And if you find it sticks up like that, you can use another glue dot, or like I said, a piece of tear and tape. I'll just grab another glue dot or two. We're gonna put our pear right over this, so it's gonna kind of hide the, it looks weird right now, but trust me, I really like how it ends up looking. And tell me in the comments, do you use ribbon a lot? Do you have secret ways of using it? Because I need new ways to use ribbon. So see, it gives it like a little bit of a tail, but I wanna, before, put that slightly at an angle, because we're gonna put our leaves over. I don't want to cover up the congratulations. And for this, I'm just using some mini Stampin' Dimensionals. Like that. And then we can use a couple more dimensionals to stick this to our card base. And be sure to stick around and see all 3 cards so you can tell me which one is your favorite. Again, this is card number 1. We have 2 more to make. I gotta add a little bit of bling to this card though. I'm just gonna center that. So we're going to use the low profile sparkle dots, and my paper piercer again, we're going to use the putty end. and just grab 3 of the dots, or 5 or 7, however many you feel like using. And I just kind of, there, pop them around. So that is card number 1. So for card number 2, we're going to be adding a little bit more to the kit here. So again, you get everything that's not included in the suite. So I embossed this piece, I already did it, with the mini corrugated embossing folder. So this will be included in your kit, as well as the petal pink card base, the stylish shape circle, and another piece of basic white for the inside. And this one opens at the top. I like doing cards like this every now and then. And this one uses all designer series paper. So the stamping, all I did was stamp the sentiment, but that's it. Everything else is designer series paper. So I cut these from the DSP. I just want to quickly show you how many pears. Like, I got so many pears and flowers, and I even cut some, like this one was cut off. That's the side of the paper, but I feel like if you hid it behind something, you could totally still use that. So you get a lot of die cuts from that. This is just one sheet. There are 2 of these sheets in the pack, so you'll get a ton of pears. So this one's going to be pretty quick to put together. I am going to use Stampin' Seal for this. This is actually my favorite adhesive. So the first thing we're going to do is take our little strip of designer series paper and place it over our embossed piece. And if you're more comfortable using the liquid glue for that, go right ahead. I'm going to put this right on. You know what? I'm going to cut that little bit off. Just because it gets embossed, it shrinks the paper just ever so slightly. I'm just going to cut that little strip off. Center it on our card base, and while I'm at it, I will throw the inside in. And then before we set anything down, I do want to get the stamping done. I always like to do that first, just in case I mess something up. So for this one, I used A Good Friend as a Gift. I think I'm going to keep that same sentiment for this card. I just really like it. And I used Mossy Meadow, which you can see my Mossy Meadow again. I think I just need a new one. This ink pad has seen better days. So I think right after this live, actually, I'm going to add a new ink pad right to my cart. I'm just going to stamp up in that right hand corner again. That one's much better. And before we put this down, I'm going to put our pieces on. So I just put a little bit of seal on the leaf there. And again, we don't want to cover up the sentiment. This gets a dimensional. We can use regular dimensionals for both this and the pear. I just wanted to stick that down because I liked the look of that being like flat to the card, and then the pear sticking up. Then what I did was I put the dimensional right on the circle. That just made it easier. And I put our pear there. It's a little to the side, but that's okay. Also, in the card kits, adhesives are not included. So if you like any of these adhesives and want the card kit, you might consider adding them to your $35 order. I'll pop a couple dimensionals on the back here. And this one you can center, but I did it kind of off a little bit. And grab those sparkle dots again. I don't see. I put my take your pick tool somewhere. Here it is. I was like, that's not working. Grab that putty end again, and we're gonna go with the Mossy Meadow dots again. I think I'll do 2 like that, and then 1 like there. Yeah, I like that. So that is card number 2. So put this way, let's clean up the stamp. I've already sprayed it, so there is a good, this is the wet side and this is the dry side. And if you love Stampin' Up as much as I do, now is a great time to join my team for $100 or for $99. You can get $125 worth of products. This whole suite is $73.75. So you could add this to a starter kit and still have money left over to get a bunch more stuff. So let's move on to card number 3. I love that. I think this is my favorite. Tell me in the comments which one is your favorite. I'll show them all again at the end. But in your kit, oops, I just dropped a piece. Got it. In your kit, you will receive the Secret Sea card base, the Mossy Meadow piece, and then the basic white piece. So all these come from the suite. So again, this one is super simple. There's just an inside. You could add a piece of your designer series paper to this. There's lots you can do with the inside. You can stamp on it. I've already stamped this one, so there is stamping, but I wanted to make sure I got that good. So what you would do is stamp your sentiment and then die cut it. That's just easier for me, so you make sure it's in there perfectly. So this card goes together pretty quickly. Again, all the measurements will be on the PDF, which you will receive with the card kit when you place a $35 order in my online store. And for a $50 order, I forgot to mention, you'll get the card kit plus a pack of the low profile sparkle dots. I don't know why I can't remember that. Low profile sparkle dots. You get a whole pack of these in your kit. I'm gonna just put some seal on these. I've really been loving this suite, and honestly, when I first saw it, I didn't think I was gonna love it, because I was like, oh, pears. See, and that's just a little bit crooked, but it's all right. I'm really kind of laid back about my card making. I don't know, are you super stressed about it? Because you shouldn't be. If you're super stressed about it, don't be, because it's supposed to be a relaxing hobby. I'm super laid back about it. I'm like, oh, it's over a little bit, bummer. Do the same thing again with the liquid glue and just dot a little bit. You might be able to see that better. I'm not using a ton of glue, just a couple dots here and there. And then I'm just going to put it, I really like that pear. So I'm going to do this one a little bit different. I'm going to put this down a little bit because, oops. See, that pear is up here on this paper, and I did kind of hide that one, which is unfortunate. It's such beautiful paper. Oh, I need my liquid glue again because I have this. This came from the die set, and I just die cut it in Mossy Meadow. Just again, a little bit of glue. And I kind of let it go off of its border here. And then this is a pear that was also die cut from that designer series paper. I'm just going to add a dimensional, maybe one more. Let's pop that over the top, and somewhere I lost our sentiment. Well, I think that card looks just fine without a sentiment, but I know I showed it to you. There it is. I know I showed it. I'm going to use a mini dimensional for this one because it fits so nice. I'll go, oh, I like down there. Let's cover up that stem and go down there. And then grab the low profile sparkle dots. We're going to use Secret Sea. One there. There. So that is card number 3. Let me grab the other one. Where did it go? Oh, over here. So this is card 1. card number 2 and card number 3. Be sure to tell me in the comments which was your favorite. Again, when you place a $35 order in my online store, you will get the supplies to make these 3 cards, minus anything in the suite, inks, adhesives, that type of thing. So I want to thank you so much for watching. And also, another quick reminder, when you place a $50 order, you'll get the supplies to make the card plus the low profile sparkle dots. If you liked this live, please like, comment, subscribe to my channel to see more videos from me. I'll be having another card class again in August. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.